Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripadamaham Vande Sri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Padmanabhan Prabhu. This is your first visit to Trinidad? Okay, Haribol. Padmanabhan Prabhu is a dear friend. He's heading up Mayapur Institute for Higher Education and is involved in not just organizing but teaching Srila Prabhupada's books. And what is most difficult, dealing with teachers and with expectations. So he's been doing this very wonderfully for many years, and we're happy to have him here in Trinidad. Prabhu was speaking on this beautiful verse, Yadyat Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimad Urjitam Evava, that all the beauty that we see in this world is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. Whenever I see something or someone beautiful, it's natural that the senses are connecting with the sense objects. Have you noticed? You see a nice car, you see a person who looks nice, you see a nice house, and it's normal. You think, yeah, this is nice. But then what's the next thought? What's your next thought? I want to have this? Yeah, right. No, the next thought is, this is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. How beautiful must Krishna be? Everything comes from Krishna. He's the origin of everything. Aishvaryasya sya viryasya. How does it go on? Yes. Jnana vairagya. Yes. That's why we need pundits, you see? People who have sharp memory. So, what are the six opulences? Bhagavan, the possessor of all opulences. What is it? Come on, work with me, people. Renunciation. How is that an opulence? It sounds like a total downer, right? Renunciation. Fasting till death. Oh, how terrible. Vairagya. No, not yet. Later, when we're old, not now. Have you noticed that if you're detached, that it's actually an opulence? It's actually a power? You can say, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I don't need it. I'm good. This is an opulence. You know why Krishna has all the girls? Because he's completely detached. He's self-sufficient. Not just Atmarama, not just I'm okay, but everything is emanating from him. Om Purna Madak Purnamidam Purnat Purna Madhudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So naturally, Krishna, he reciprocates the love of his devotees, but he's fine. He doesn't have any external need for gratification. So renunciation, what else is Krishna's opulence? Knowledge. Knowledge. Not only is he full of knowledge, he's the source of all knowledge. The Vedas, they emanate from him. That is his breathing. That's all coming from him. And Bhagavad Gita directly spoken by Krishna. What other opulences does Krishna have? Come on, Bhakti Shastri is here. Hey, this will come up in your exam tomorrow morning, okay? So, get ready. Wealth. Yes. How much wealth does Krishna have? All. Yes. All. So then why would we want to induce people to give donations to Krishna if he already has everything? If it's already all his, why would we ask people to give a donation? Does that make sense to you? Why would you want to ask if you already have everything, or you're going to give it to Krishna who already owns everything? Why would you do that? Yes, sir.
So they could have plenty more of that.
Plenty more of what?
That wealth,
Of doubles?
Of that wealth and accent innovation.
No.
No, but it's what is going to happen, the reaction.
Everyone in this world is a beggar. From the president, from the pope, down to the person on the street. Nirmama, nobody owns nothing. We came with nothing, we're going to leave with nothing. All the toys go back on the shelf. The only thing that we take with us is the devotional service that we have performed. So if we give people the opportunity to give something to Krishna, that is the greatest wealth. That is the greatest gift that you can give to a person. One lady today, she didn't want a book. She said, "Do you have sweets?" I said, "Yes." So I gave her a little bag of prasad. And she said, "I have something for you." And she went into her handbag and she was searching around. And she took out a little plastic bag with little coins. And she was taking out those coins and giving them to me like they were pearls or diamonds or something. But I accepted them gratefully. Why? Because she was willing to give something to Krishna. And that will be for her eternal benefit. So, naturally, Krishna is grateful. He will reciprocate. He will return the favor, manifold, or in whichever way he feels that this person needs. So Krishna is the most renounced. He's the source of all knowledge. He is also the possessor of all wealth. What else? We got 3. 3 out of 6. It's not yet a passing mark. Strength. Yes. All the power, all the potency comes from Krishna. So much so that Krishna, as a small baby, he was killing demons and doing all these things just for fun, just for play. No real endeavor, but just lila, pastime. So he's the source of all strength. What else? Fame. Krishna is the most famous. 5,000 years, people still talking about Krishna. Krishna's exploits, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's teachings. Do you remember what your great-grandfather did? Do you know what he did? Probably not. 2, 3 generations, no idea. This is 5,000 years. People are still singing songs about Krishna's pastimes. What else? We're missing one. Beauty. Yes. Nama pankachanabhaya, nama pankachamaline, nama pankachanetraya, namaste pankajangraye. Krishna is so beautiful. He's compared to a lotus. His lotus face, his lotus feet, his abdomen. Krishna is all attractive. Many times in the West, people say, "Who is this woman here on the book?" They think is a lady because it's so beautiful. So they think must be a lady, right? So beautiful. Who is this person? They're mesmerized. Today we're standing in traffic on the spot where we do Harinam, and I was just standing in the middle of the road and approaching the cars because there was very little foot traffic. And people are attracted. They're attracted to the chanting. They're attracted to the books. They're attracted to the happiness of the devotees. Why? Because Krishna is all attractive. That's just a fact. Now, Prabhu was mentioning that we should know what is our quota. Ishavasyam idang sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita magrida kasasvidanam. The Ishavasya principle. My quota. How much is my quota? We always think we need a little more, right? Have you noticed? Not like a lot more, but a little more. And have you noticed how that puts us into constant anxiety? Because a little more means a little more anxiety. and a little more endeavor, a little more struggle. So how do you know what is your quota? Just like Srila Prabhupada said that a young man cannot eat too much and an old man cannot eat too little. Huh? So our quota, that's different depending on our situation that we're in. We should never be satisfied with three things. What are the three things we should never be satisfied with? Our japa. Don't be a minimalist. Don't think, oh yeah, done, job done, ho gaya, huh? Finish. Now I can do any damn thing I want. Chant more. Minimum 16 rounds. Are you chanting 16 rounds? Are you chanting more than 16 rounds? Huh? The goal is Kirtaniya Sadahari. Don't be a minimalist. What else we should never be satisfied? Our study. Are you reading Prabhupada's books? Prabhupada got up every night at midnight and translated 6 pages. For a couple hours, he would just dedicate to give us this wonderful wisdom of the Bhagavatam. Are we reading Prabhupada's books? How many of you have read all of Prabhupada's books? Hare Krishna. This is the time for audience participation. How many of you have read all of Prabhupada's books? It's not a rhetorical question. If you read 2 hours every day, in 2 years, you complete most of the books. If you read 1 hour, it'll take you 4 years. Some of us have been devotees for decades. And some of us have not read all of Prabhupada's books. So, message to self, homework, reading Prabhupada's books every day. Do you have a plan for reading? I know we have a plan for eating. We have a plan for so many things. So, put reading on your plan. Japa, reading, and what's the other? Study. What's the other thing? The third thing that we should never be satisfied of. Charity. To give charity. And that can mean different things depending on who we are. But we should never be satisfied, yes, with our devotional service, with how much seva we can do. We should never be satisfied. I did something last Jamastami, you know. I gave somebody a plate of prasadam. So don't ask me for any service, okay? I did my service. We should always try to do a little more. And the other things, like Prabhu was saying, quoting this beautiful verse from the Bhagavatam, what concerns sense gratification, we can always do with a little less. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how we can always do with a little less? It still works. It's not like we're gonna die. Just like in the morning, you get up, you start chanting, and after a while, what does the mind say? Prabhu, you're tired. You need to go take rest. Does your mind ever tell you that? Prabhu, if you don't take rest right now, you're gonna die. I mean, Prabhu, this is serious business. You could die if you don't go and take rest right now. Like if anybody ever died because they didn't take a nap, right? So that shows us how much logic and how much wisdom is there in the mind. But somehow the mind has got magical powers. But we can break through this cycle by remembering I can always do with a little less. A little less sleep, a little less indulgence, a little less extracurricular interests and engagement. So we should take advantage of the association of Padmanabhan Prabhu and see how one can be fully absorbed in devotional service and dedicated to spreading Srila Prabhupada's movement, because Trinidad is one of the most fertile countries in the world. It's unbelievable. You're sitting on a gold mine. Like here, you can go on the street and everybody says, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. People open the window, they hand you money. You know, this happens nowhere in the world. The people come out of their houses, they bring you water, they bring you fruits. They give you donations, even without asking them. So my question is, what are we doing? There's a lot of empty chairs in the back. Have you noticed? This temple room can hold maybe 300 people, 400 people. I mean, if you pack it, you can put in up to 1,000 people, depending on where you are. And right now, we're just barely keeping the lights on. We're just surviving, just keeping our nose above the water. But that is not good enough. Srila Prabhupada said, I have one disease. I cannot think small. I want to spread Krishna consciousness everywhere at once. So here, Krishna has given us one of the best countries on the planet. Very fertile from many perspectives. Now, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? We'll talk a little more about this in the next coming days. So we're very grateful to have the association of all of you. And to take part in this Hare Krishna movement is truly exciting. People are bored with material life. Have you noticed how people are getting bored? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over. They're tired. They're looking for something sublime. Something that is truly life-changing. Now, Krishna, for many, is a little far. It's a little esoteric. But the devotees are there. And they're looking to get a connection with Krishna through the devotees. So what are the qualities of the devotees that will attract people? Titikshava karunika surida sarvadehina ajata shatrava santa sarava sadhubhushana. The good ornaments on a devotee are not their gizmos, their electronics, their fancy dress or car or house. No. Tolerance, patience, compassion, not being envious, not being inimical to others, being a friend to all, even to people who are not so friendly. And we can see how here people are still appreciating those qualities. They're appreciating, they're looking for those qualities. So this is a great opportunity. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we'll discuss more in the coming days how we can apply ourselves to this process and how we can share it with others. Because these two go hand in hand. Relishing and distributing go hand in hand. They're not two separate things. The more we appreciate, the more we'll be able to share. And the more you share, the more you will be able to appreciate. Because we can see how people, sometimes people who are as far as you can be away from Krishna, how they appreciate Krishna consciousness, how they become transformed. Have you noticed when you go on Harinam, when you go chanting, and sometimes people are more enthusiastic than the devotees? It's quite funny to see. How is this possible? Why? How can these people be more enthusiastic than the devotees? I mean, we got up, we chanted rounds, we're following regs, we're doing all the things we're supposed to be doing, not doing the things we're not supposed to be doing. And here is this person, God knows what he has done. But he's feeling so much happiness, he's feeling so much joy. How is this possible? Because Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they're the most merciful. Parama karuna bahudui jana nitai gaura chandra sababatara sarasiromani kevalananda kande Bhajo bhai Chaitanya nitai sudrita vishwasakori. So this is Keval Ananda Kanda. This process is joyfully performed. Are you joyful? Srila Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Are you happy in Krishna consciousness? That happiness is being felt when we relish it and when we share it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions to Prabhu or any reflections, yes, Mother Panchatata.
So, many times we hear this, what you say, this is for you.
This for me?
Yeah.
All right.
So, we are, what all that both of you would have said, is more or less, you speak into the choir, preach into the choir. So, I may sound like a broken record because I am saying this repeatedly, How do we, the devotees who are here, you talk about all the empty chairs. But how do we fill the chairs? Because Prabhu was asking me today how many initiated devotees we have in this country. Shanta, how much we have? A few hundred? Huh? A couple hundred or more. This is initiated people, So the thing about it is that, how do we reach these people? Because as time goes by, we're seeing that it's almost like we're losing people. People who we would think would be more enthusiastic about the process and want to do more, as you say, and give more, but we're not seeing that. So why?
Why? Because our approach is wrong. Right now we have so many empty chairs because we're playing the game called musical chairs. Have you heard of musical chairs? Yeah? And you remove one chair and then there's less people and less people and less people, and at the end there's no more people and then it's game over. But that has to do with our faulty mentality that oftentimes people have this erroneous idea that initiation is the goal. They don't understand. To initiate means to begin. It doesn't mean that you're done when you get initiated. I give a seminar, it's called Life After Initiation. There is a life after initiation, and it's a good life. But many people, they think initiation is the goal. After that, they drop off. They think, that's it. That's it, I'm initiated. I know. Don't tell me anything. I got my guru. I got my deity. I don't need temple. I don't need institution. I don't need anybody. Like our fellow this morning, plenty of that. So, and then we have the spectator mentality that people just come to watch, just to see, or to get something. So I feel it is a real lack of education and training, systematic, that anyone who walks through the door should understand that here there are no spectators, there's only participators. And we have a rule around here that you're allowed to criticize anything as long as you're willing to be part of the solution. Because as long as we're willing to be part of the solution, we're part of the team. We're a team member. But if we're just criticizing and saying, why is this door closed, and I don't like the menu, or this, get rid of management, then we're just fault finders. We're just criticizers. So a team member is somebody who thinks, how can we make this happen? How can we make this more attractive? How can we fill this place up, make it so vibrant that we don't know where to put all the cars? Now there's plenty of place. So the question is, how are we going to do about it? We need a game plan. We need a strategy. We need to translate Prabhupada's vision, Prabhupada's mission into a game plan. And for that, sometimes one needs a little help from people who have done this before, who know how to do this. Project management, etc. You have so much potential here. The people are so nice. They're so friendly. They're so generous. They're so pious. Yeah, there's a few problems, but that's okay. That's actually helping. That's actually helping. So I think with a little bit of training, a little bit of adjustment, a lot can happen. in short time, this can be turned around. Because this is not Russia or US or Brazil. This is Trinidad. It's like a Mini Cooper. You know those little cars? You tuck it and it immediately goes. So here you can have a course correction. You can have an adjustment really fast. Try to do that in India. If you want to move, it's like moving the oil tanker, right? You have to turn the wheel and then in 20 minutes it will start going in a direction, right? And it will take all day for making a curve. But here, this is a small place. And it's a small team. So if we want something to change, we can make the adjustment. You see, Prabhupada was so successful because he taught us principles. And he allowed us, in fact, he expected us to adjust the details locally. That was his strength. That's where most of the other movements and religions failed, because they gave a cookie cutter solution, and it didn't fit. In many places, it was very awkward and very strange. So, a lot more could be said, but again, words are cheap. It's more about action. Who shows up at the festival? It's not really representative. Who shows up Monday morning for the cleanup? That is your crew. Those are the people who you can count on. Now, Prabhupada started this movement single-handedly. And he worked with whoever he had. We have a few hundred initiated devotees. We have, I would say, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of supporters, of well-wishers, of people who love the Hare Krishna movement here in Trinidad. What do we do with it? It's up to us. We have special sound effects today. It's up to us. But I think it has a lot to do also with delegation and with empowering next generation of leadership, that we see people who have potential, and we say, okay, you take book distribution, you take Harinam, you take festival, you take fundraising, you manage this, you do that. And then the seniors are more there for training and for guidance, rather than hands-on management. Because after some time, it becomes a little tedious and a little compromising, because we're supposed to be elders. We're supposed to be more detached and more just in an advisory capacity rather than in hands-on management. And it's not such a huge operation that like we need, 5 levels of management. This is like, our turnover is less than what a guy does who sells doubles, down the streets or a corner store or something. Like, this is not like an offshore company who drills for oil or gas. So it is doable. It has been done before. And Krishna can empower. Krishna can empower anyone. Anyone can take part and anyone can serve. That is the beauty of this process. I don't know if that satisfies you. It's an ongoing discussion. But thank you all for showing up and for voting with your feet. I know it's been a working week and it's Friday evening and, a lot happened. We're tired. We've traveled. It's hot. It's rainy. Yet we're here. Why? Because Krishna shows up. Prabhupada shows up. My Gurudev shows up. Why shouldn't I show up? Huh? So you vote with your feet. By showing up and by taking part. So thank you for your participation, and we hope to have more audience participation. I think to have an Istagosti would be a good thing. That you call for an Istagosti, how can we improve devotee relationship, community here in Trinidad? And then you work with the willing. You work with those who are willing to actually do something. A lot of people are willing to talk, but few people are willing to apply themselves. But they exist. They exist. Last question or comment? So Prabhu can give the final conclusion.
We should conclude here.
Huh?
Conclude now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Can you tell us what the program is for the next couple of days?
Hare Krishna.